Hello and welcome to the Cricket Hall of Fame Museum TV today. And we are going to meet today Clarence Modeste. He is a class of 2023 induction ceremony, which will be held on October 7, 2023 on Saturday in Hartford, Connecticut. Before we move forward, I'd like to welcome you, Clarence Modeste, on this channel. And the first thing viewers like to know it's about you. And if you can give us the brief introduction about you, that will be the great.
Thank you for having me. My name is Clarence Modeste, and I was born in Tobago, of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean. And my first exposure to cricket was at the age of 5 when I went to elementary school. And I moved from Trinidad to England, back to Trinidad, and then finally settled in the United States in 1939, and cricket has been a part of my life all those years.
When you say you moved to US and living in US, can you give us detail about where you currently live, as well as if you move around in USA since you moved to US?
When I moved to the US, I moved to New York, and I still live in New York. I live in Queens, New York. I did live in Brooklyn briefly when I moved here, but then I moved to Queens, and I've remained here in Queens for the duration.
When you say involved in the cricket since the early days and moved to England also for a while, so any detail you can give us at what level cricket you have played and how long in terms of the age-wise?
I never saw cricket as or any sport for that matter, as a professional sport myself, in the sport as a professional, but I always enjoyed sport as a form of exercise and socializing. And so I played only amateur cricket, club level cricket, not beyond that. And I continued to like doing that until I retired from playing. The last time I suited up was in Philadelphia at the Marion Cricket Club in 2019 at 90 years of age.
That's great to hear that. And when you say you played this game because of the passion and you enjoy as a health benefit, so any other major roles or activity you have done related to the cricket in USA?
I have I joined Staten Island Cricket Club, which is on Staten Island in New York, in 1961. I was fully employed in those days. And so my involvement in cricket was to play at the weekend when I was free from my work. After a few years, the club asked me to become the match secretary, which I did. It involved a lot of work, but because we had a large a fixture list, a large schedule, and I continued to do that for a number of years. And eventually, they asked me to become the friendly skipper. We played in a league on Sundays, starting on Saturday in those days. Eventually switched to Sundays in the 1980s. And we played a lot of non-league cricket, what is commonly called friendly cricket. And we did a number of tours, which is one of the things that really attracted me to Island cricket.
Anything you like to say about your any major achievement or actions which gives the more, we call it appreciation from the cricket fraternity or your team or club, or if you feel any awards you may have received in the past.
When I was playing at the height of my playing days, I was more a bowler than a batsman, and so I really enjoyed it when the skipper handed me the new ball and said, "Open the bowling." That was I sort of lived for that in the sport, and my highest achievement in bowling was to take out 9 wickets in one inning for fewer than 20 runs. That was the height of my achievement in bowling. Batting, I was not a very regular batsman or very good, I didn't think in those days, but I did make a century once. And it was an interesting occasion because the club I was playing with in Port of Spain, Trinidad, was thrown a match where they were honoring me. And I went out to bat earlier that day, and I stayed at wicket and scored 20 runs. So scored, my first and only century.
That's great to hear that. Now, can you give us, our viewers, a little bit information about class of 2023 as a Cricket Hall of Fame inductee, and also how you feel about it?
Well, I was felt incredibly honored when I received notice. I believe it was 2011 when the Hall of Fame said that I was going to be one of their inductees, and a number of my friends and cricketers from the club accompanied me to Connecticut, Hartford, and it was a wonderful ceremony, and we all enjoyed it. We were very happy about it. That gave me a second or third look at the Hall of Fame because it was the first ceremony that, although I knew about the organization, it was the first ceremony that I attended, my induction ceremony. And gave me a closer sort of inside view, a look at how the Hall of Fame operated on that level. And I must say that exposed me to what I consider the great work that the Hall of Fame has been doing ever since it was inaugurated and continues to do. I'm very pleased to be part of the Hall of Fame.
So for the listeners, we are with the discussion, Clarence Modeste. He is also going to be receiving Lifetime Achievement Award in the 2023 induction ceremony. It's a huge achievement for the lifetime work you have done, and which has definitely helped so many people around us to change their life. Do you think about someone special in life who may have contributed or helped to reach this level? In terms of the support, it can be family member, it can be outsider, but something you feel like top of this, everything you may have it in cricket. Is it someone special who has given extraordinary support to reach this level?
Yes, I don't remember the year, but I had myself recommended the gentleman who is in charge of the only cricket library and museum that I know of in this country at the Haverford College in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And he was subsequently inducted into the Hall of Fame because I think that to have a good cricket library and museum in a country, even though this is not considered a real cricket playing country, a cricketing country. And that, of course, is because we do not have a cricket regularly played at the highest levels. But I think that that is a major contribution to the foundations of the game.
When someone receives any accolade based on the work done or as appreciation, it does to change a life. And in that terms, how it will be change your life after receiving an award from Hall?
It has in on one level, it has made me rather proud of having stuck with the game all these decades. On another level, it has generated a number of what I consider greater respect as a cricketer within the cricketing community. And I do get a number of congratulations from time to time from cricketers and non-cricketers alike who found out that I, in fact, am a member of the Hall of Fame.
It's absolutely like a life is a journey. So we consider this sport cricket is also our journey, part of our life, where we enjoy this game and keep continue. What do you think about your journey? Have you ever thought about it? Like you'll be reaching at this destination now?
Well, in perspective, the answer is no. I never thought about it. But in reality, at the moment, I'm very pleased that I kept within the game and that I continued to play as long as I could. Eventually, I did become the president of the Staten Island Cricket Club, and in fact have been the president. I continue as president. I was re-elected again and again, and I think it's going on 40 years that I've been president of the club. And we, as a club, we have achieved one of those things that I am not conscious of too many clubs, either within the United States or worldwide, that can say that they have celebrated their 150th anniversary. We reached that level last year because our club was founded in 1872. And one of the items that we are really proud of is that we have played cricket every year from 1872 to now 2023. Even in years when it has been difficult, for example, World War I, World War II, and then COVID.
Yep.
We've been able to manage a few cricket matches in the, shall I say, the worst of years. So that the game has been continuous with our club year after year, 1872 to 2023.
So, sir, when you say Staten Island Cricket Club, it has a history in US, is one of the oldest club in New York area. And I like to have some word or maybe a little bit brief history about Staten Island cricket so the viewers know what this club is all about, how it was founded. You already said that it has been playing regularly year by year, but there is any other major uh, development or progress they have made in the area?
The club was founded in 1872 by a group of British men who were employed as brokers or investors, etc., on Wall Street. And they founded the club on Staten Island rather than elsewhere. And they played on the ground, which was on the water at St. George, the northern boundary of Staten Island. on land that was owned by the railroad. And so they couldn't build a clubhouse, and the railroad wouldn't sell them the land. So they leased it on an annual basis. And they played there for 11 years. And when they really wanted to purchase some land so that they can have their own property, the part of what was called at the time the Delafield Estate went up for sale, and so they purchased almost 5 acres, $40,000, and the property came with a building on it, a large house, 2 stories, which they used as a clubhouse. And the game was then very popular, and on the it was an era when sports had started to be seen as something that is healthy, that is good for the spirits as well as for the body, good for the soul, shall we say. And sports had started to be respected as something that young people, especially young men, should be doing. And so the club in its heyday had as many as 500 members. The club also made certain other contributions to sports. It was not just a cricket club. The first name of the club was the Staten Island Cricket and Baseball Club. The club became involved in baseball in those early days, and its roots can be traced to some extent for the beginnings of what became the New York Giants in baseball. They eventually, of course, as you know, moved to California.
Yep.
The club also introduced golf to Staten Island. It's believed that it is known. I do know where on Staten Island it was. The golf did not remain for very long, but it was several years. Pardon me. Club was also involved in maybe up to 8 or 10 other sports, such as rowing and field hockey and all of that sort of thing. But the major contribution outside of cricket that the club made was with tennis. The second name of the club was the Staten Island Cricket and Tennis Club. A young lady who was named Mary Outerbridge and her sister went to Bermuda on a visit. And there they saw this strange game, new to them, the first time, being played by the British Constabulary in Bermuda. And Mary in particular was fascinated by it. And so they made inquiries of the constabulary as to what the name of this game, how could they become involved in it, how could they lived in the US, how could they and where could they purchase and for the game, and that sort of thing. What are the rules, basically, etc. And she got help from them. So they ordered the tennis nets and rackets balls from England, and they came to New York, and the people at the customs had never seen this before, and so there was a little bit of go back and forth before customs officers threw their hands up and said, "Okay, take it, it's all right, and you can have them." Mary's father, Outerbridge, was a member of the Staten Island Cricket Club, and subsequently, the club decided to build a tennis court on its ground, and the name Staten Island Cricket and Tennis Club they remained with the club for quite a number of years. And eventually, as we all know, tennis has become a major sport in this country. So one
When you
can,
say it's a Staten Island Cricket Club and Tennis Club, and with this amazing and outstanding journey, as when you say it started 1872, even everyone knows that. First international test match was played in 1888. It was like Australia and England. So I'd like to come to the point with this long journey. It's hard to believe that still exists. And it will not exist without any challenges, modifications, or upgrades, or involvement of many other things to keep continue in modern world, we call it. So can you give us a little bit about current situation at the club? That includes uh, what new member can get out of membership, or what are the amenities or facilities you may have at this time so the members can enjoy?
well, the club, as most clubs do, face some problems and challenges and difficulties. Uh, but as I said earlier, the club played cricket continuously over its life so far. Uh, the membership, shall I say, the coloration of the membership has changed remarkably over the years. When I joined, there was one Indian and a couple of Australians, but the main body, and I think one New Zealander, the main body of the club was English. Um, and there were two West Indians. I think I made the third West Indian myself. Over the decades, though, that I've been in the club, the English part of the club has declined considerably, and the international looks at the membership also increased. So now we have quite a number of members from the subcontinent, Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, a number of West Indians, and so on. So the club is more international now than it ever was. As far as the progress is made, that comes and goes. But one of the things that the club has done over the last 10, 12 years is to introduce youth cricket, which has been sadly lacking in this country in many ways until the last 30 years or so. And so we now have a youth cricket program where on Saturday mornings we have a coaching session. We raise funds and pay a coach who is properly certified to do the coaching of youth. We start the age of 6 to 18 program, and that although there is also sometimes difficulties getting enough youth, we continue to do that program because we think it's of major importance.
So on behalf of the Cricket Hall of Fame, I'd like to congratulate on your Lifetime Achievement Award for the work you have done over the years and the keeping up the standard to promote and expand this game into the US, which definitely can help others to do so. In terms of your achievements are a prime example. You have done it, others can do it. So in terms of that, I'd like to have a conclusive statement from you about your thoughts, or otherwise you can say how it can inspire and motivate your story to others to keep continue in cricket in US.
I think that first and foremost, if one has a broad vision of how sport, in this case, specifically cricket, is useful in their lives, and outside of their own personal experience, if they can help and encourage others to see the game not only as something that they go out on a Saturday or Sunday to play, but something that they can share and they can encourage others to participate in, whether the participation be actually playing the game or simply watching the game, that the game is not just the physical part of it that takes place on the field, but there's the huge social aspect of cricket, which can help to lift the spirits, can make people enjoy each other's company in healthy chatter and discussions, conversations, and it's an outdoor sport, which I think we all believe that outdoor activities are good for us. And I think I can do it. You can do it.
So thank you for your time today with the Cricket Hall of Fame about discussion about class of 2023.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to do it.
So now we'll off the recording now. And the next phase is basically explained to you earlier. Now you'll be talking nonstop on your own, up to 3 minutes, whatever time you want to take it. Feel yourself like you are on October 7th, walking in induction ceremony. And if you ask to introduce yourself, current activity as a part of Staten Island cricket kind of thing, anything you like to add for in 2 to 3 minutes, and that will conclude the statement about your appreciation to the Hall of Fame for this award, that sort of thing. So it's really a small speech, and I like to have you speak on that one, and I will not interrupt you. If I feel something is missing or something need to be added, we may repeat, let's say this way. So don't stress out like this is one shot. If I feel like this is not right, I can stop you and say, let's add these few things and we can combine the video. That will be fine too. Is it okay? Yeah. So go ahead.
So I have spent a lifetime with sports, cricket as the major sport that I've played. I've indulged in a number of other sports such as tennis, football, squash, downhill skiing, etc., etc. But cricket is the one steady light in sports that's been with me since I was 5 years of age, as I said, elementary school. I believe that my love for the game, it's hard to say where it comes from, but it has been very solid. It has never wavered. I've never thought that I would not like to play cricket anymore. And I believe that my presence in the Staten Island Cricket Club has been both useful to both the club and to myself, very helpful. I see the club one that I would like to have continue long after I'm gone. I see the club as having fulfilled its role and continues to hope that it will, especially welcoming youth and women's cricket, which I think is now getting a good foothold in this part of the world. And I believe that the Hall of Fame has a role to play in all cricket activities in this country, and I believe that the Hall of Fame is in fact playing that role. And I think it's a wonderful role, I think it's a very helpful role. And I certainly hope that the Hall of Fame will continue to grow, to prosper, and to push its vision of what cricket should be in the United States as well as elsewhere, but focused on the United States because this is where we are. And I hope that a lot of people would understand that cricket is here to stay. And even though we play mainly at the club and league levels, that someday we'll be playing, cricket will become also a professional game in this country, professional sport, and so that the United States can play at the highest level of the game, as it is played in cricket playing countries, as we call them, South Africa, Australia, India, etc. And I myself am very proud of the fact that I can sit here, thank the Hall of Fame, praise the Hall of Fame, and thank cricket for its role in my life.
Great. I like to give you this one line which you can repeat, and then I will definitely modify this video to put front your introduction. So I can give you example. If I have to say myself, I'm Jatin Patel, originally from India, moved to USA in 1986, and since then I'm living in Indianapolis, and I am heavily affiliated with majority of the soccer and sport cricket in USA. You can definitely modify this one to yours, like I'm Clarence Modeste, born in Trinidad and moved to US with year and living in New York since then, kind of introduction line. And I will add this line in front of your speech.
Okay, yeah. So my name is Clarence Modeste, and I was born on Tobago, of Trinidad and Tobago, moved to New York in the US in 1959, and in 1961 I joined the Staten Island Cricket Club. I've been playing with that club ever since. I have held offices in that club, and I'm currently the president of the Staten Island Cricket Club. In 2011, the Hall of Fame graciously inducted me as a member, and I've been very pleased with that. I'm pleased with the work of the Staten Island Cricket Club, and I'm equally pleased with the work of the Cricket Hall of Fame located in Hartford, Connecticut. And I thank the Hall of Fame for allowing me to be part of them.
Yeah, that should do it. We'll edit the video, and both looks good. And probably by tomorrow, I'll send you the link for review. And if you want to make any changes or take out something out of it, you need to let me know. But we will not release to the public until you say, this all looks good to me. Good?
Okay,
Okay.
fair enough.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.